Hi, welcome to episode 4 of Red True Diaries. And tonight is going to be a bit unusual because I'm holding my phone, which I'm using as my video camera, because where I am, which is to me the best time to capture this time of day that I love, twilight, I'm in the middle of a field, small field, but a field all the same, and I didn't come prepared with something to prop my camera or phone on. So, I am looking at that fence post, so we'll make our way over there. But I wanted to capture the light before it got too dark. So, and my battery is dying. So, I am going to go ahead and start by saying that what I'd like to focus on tonight, which is self-esteem. Actually, I think I have a pretty steady hand, so I'll just stay here and film. So, okay. Though I can already feel my arm getting tired. Right, my way over to these posts. Last night, when I was recording and reading in my entry, I had read, not aloud, but some of the entry pertaining to some racial issues I was having, and I wasn't going to address that in the show, but in my show in general, at least not anytime soon, but I've decided to go ahead and do so. Okay, this might work. I know I could cut and start all over, but I'd rather not. There's something to me that's very authentic about the improvisation process. Okay, that's good. All right, so because one of the things that I really wanted to address in future shows, period, is being good enough. Because I know all too well what that feels like to not be good enough, not smart enough, funny enough, pretty enough, thin enough, curvy enough, creative enough, whatever it is. And it seems it plagues a lot more women than men. Men seem to at least have some sort of confidence. And all right, so the entry yesterday pertaining to racism, I am multiracial. I am Black, white, and Native American. And growing up this way, and I've only grown up with my mom, who's Black, and my dad is white, and I have no relationship with my father or his side of the family. So, and I grew up on the East Coast, and there aren't very many Native Americans around, nor did my family really make it important to get to know our Native American heritage. I mean, they weren't the Afrocentric type of people who even cared about wanting to really know my African heritage. So I grew up somewhat lost and wanting a sense of cultural pride and identity, and not having that, I didn't feel that I fit in with, and this is before multiculturalism was more in, say starting in the 90s in my opinion. I grew up a lot, my main years in the 80s as a child. So well, I'm hoping this doesn't die. I will try to be concise because my battery's dying. Okay, so yeah, I used to want to be one race, one or the other, so I could identify, talk about, and these are root chakra issues pertaining to red. And like I said, that's one of the reasons I chose red, is because I am my brothers and sisters keeper, and I do think it's important for us to look out after each other. I'm not of the mindset of, just look away and let people handle their own problems by themselves. I do believe in autonomy, trust me, I'm a fiercely independent person, but it's why I'm doing these videos and why I want to get this information out here, because I don't feel like people are looking out after me as a woman, me as a minority, me also coming from a poor socioeconomic background. I know what it's like to have a lot of disadvantages and people wanting to take advantage of you and be opportunistic, and that really can eat a lot at you in a way, at your feeling. Talk about living a more orgasmic life. It's really hard when you feel less than, you don't feel worthy. And so ways to combat that is to, one, find things, especially free things, that don't depend on anybody else. Like coming to this park, one of the reasons I chose this park is because it is one of the places close by that I knew I could come to watch a gorgeous sunset. And I wish there were more, but at least I have one. And that mindset of being grateful for what you have. I mean, that's ultimately where I came to the conclusion. As much as I struggled as a kid with cultural identity, I did my best to embrace what I could when I could, of, you know, the strengths of all the different ethnicities that I came from, and even on through now. It's not easy being a misfit. I know that I don't fit in a lot of prescribed boxes that people care to put me in and categorize me, other than misfit or freak or weirdo. And honestly, that's fine for me, because I, even as much as I do like my structure and stability, I love the freedom and the sense of newness and the sense of being a pioneer, an explorer, an adventurer, and discovering new things too. That category it puts me into and aligns me with other kind of like-minded kindred spirits. So and it is a turn on to me. You know, that's most important. Whatever works for you. It's a great movie, by the way. Funny movie by Woody Allen. Talk about being open and exploring your sexuality. That movie, Whatever Works, by Woody Allen. It is pretty awesome in that regard. And I will say, learning about my cultural background, especially that of Black people and Native Americans and Irish. I mean, of all the white people, Irish really have struggled a lot from what I've learned. And that struggle, standing on, as some people say, I think it's a quote by it's either Plato or Aristotle, I think it's Plato, that we stand on the shoulders of giants. And it's been people like Eve Ensler and Brene Brown with her TEDx talk, The Power of Vulnerability, and Jane Langton, Emotion for Masturbation, another TEDx talk, that have helped embolden me and to become more of the empowered woman before you today. And there's been a host of other influences, including Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist. Sojourner Truth's story is amazing. The Little Prince by Antoine Saint-Exupéry, I believe. And where one of my favorite lines is, it is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. So many of us, women especially, get caught up in what we're looking at. And in a big way, I believe that's due to pleasing men. And it is important for us to like what we see, but many of us feel more attractive when we feel attractive to men. Men are very visual, and that's great. I've learned to be more visual. It's not my strength, though. I am a visual artist as well. Musical one too, but that's one of the reasons I gravitate more towards music, because that's more about feelings, what you feel with your eyes closed and what you sense. And I think at the end of the day, that, especially for women, and especially leading an orgasmic life and having more orgasms, is key. Is get outside of the way things look, get more inside. One of the things I love about the book, The Alchemist, is the main character goes on this huge journey and travels a lot and extensively and learns a lot on the way, and comes to find out that, hold on, I don't want to spoil the ending for you, but it's kind of funny that one of the main things that he was in search of was with him the entire time. And I feel like that's the case for enlightenment in terms of spiritual growth, but also in living an orgasmic life or living a satisfied life, is no one's stopping you but you, us, myself too. You know, I'm not a master by any means, but I'm definitely a lot better off than I was when I first started on this journey 20 years ago. A conscious journey to live a more authentic life, so that when it is time to take my last breath, I can do so with as little struggle as possible, so that I am completely at ease with it. I don't want to fight it, because I do believe that next step, like the caterpillar becoming a butterfly, is a lot more amazing than we even imagine. So please do start exploring if you haven't already. If you're happy, great. But maybe you could be just a little bit more, not necessarily happy, but more satisfied, doing perhaps more for others or helping others. Even if you yourself are content in all of your life, perhaps bring more contentment or some contentment to other people's lives. That's what I'm doing my best to do, and in that it's helping me raise the bar on my standards, as well as raise these inner vibrations that are amazing. And another thing, by the way, one last thing, is that the orgasms, literally and metaphorically, I want to say they only get more phenomenal to me. They are absolutely spellbounding. So would that be the right word? No, that's not spellbinding. No, they're astounding, mesmerizing, intoxicating. There's a good word. They are holistically and authentically and naturally, truly naturally intoxicating. So that's it for now. I think that was enough, and glad my battery made it through. And thank you for watching and listening. I love you. More soon.